think that it is.
Hold on.
Oh, yeah.
How many seconds can you
Oh,
stay on?
shit. It felt like it was about to break. Alright, now to your newscast.
So, I liked our last episode. I thought it was pretty good.
It performed
It did banger bits.
well.
Yeah, it was our highest, bass video.
It made her lose her bet that she made. That
Yeah,
we
it
wouldn't get a lot
immediately
of...
crushed my bet.
What was your prior bet?
Nothing over 25 on our videos for the whole year, and nothing over 1,000 on shorts for the whole year.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, I
so
smashed
in
it.
one go, it took it down.
Yeah.
We crushed it immediately.
So I lost that one.
Dang.
Also, we need Cassidy just as the thumbnail for more shorts, I think.
People like women.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but they do.
It no longer has to be boobs in the thumbnail, just a woman. Any part of a woman in the thumbnail.
Well, did we have you in the thumbnail when you were dressed up as a woman in the first?
I mean,
Because
so technically we've had Cass in a lot of other thumbnails. This is the first time we've had LeBron James in the thumbnail.
Yeah.
That might have been what did it.
you know what?
That is
You're
nuts.
right.
So, have you guys had an eventful week at all?
What did
I don't
what did-
remember if I
I
did.
don't remember anything other than I've just been doing school and work. Oh my god, work is falling apart. Which is one of your bets, is that the museum closes down permanently, and it's looking like it's gonna happen.
I forgot that I made a New Year's bet that you were gonna lose your job, and it's coming to fruition.
It was fine. Well, it was never fine. But we lost 3 of my coworkers, their last day is this week. And it's gonna be down to 3 people out of the 23 we had originally. And so like we were bare bones skeleton crew like a few months ago, and now we have a femur and the spine
A tibia.
and that's it. That's it.
No phalanges.
No
What about the
phalanges.
patella? Tell me you have the patella.
Nope.
What are they gonna do to your bones?
Gorg and Gorm down
What is crazy about wanting your bones?
Okay. Well, I mean, you can't live without bones. All of your bones. So yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my way out. I was gonna get a different job. I told you I was gonna be like 25 an hour.
You can potentially be working in a haunted museum as your next arc. Didn't you
Yeah,
get accepted already?
That was it. So I did 2 different haunting jobs. That one, I don't think Zach Baggins himself liked me, and I think that's what happened, because the hiring manager was like, he loved me, and it was very obvious. It was great, but he had to show my video performance of me telling a ghost story, but it was also, I was outside and it was really fucking cold, so I was shivering the whole time, and so it messed with that.
It seems like it would help, like you look like extra spooked when you're telling the
Maybe,
story.
but I don't know. But the other one is like a walking tour of like haunted places on the strip, except for they don't have like a home base that you like a building to meet at, so you'd just be meeting a random group of strangers on a street corner, and it would be just me and no security person or anything, and you don't get a pick who buys the tickets, and working on the strip 90% of the time they're gonna be drunk, and I am so easily snatchable that I don't want to get kidnapped.
Yeah, that sounds like a bad plan for you specifically.
Yeah.
If you pay me a specific rate, I can do unarmed security for you.
I don't want to have to pay you to protect me.
Fuck you, Dad. I just got my, it's like I don't remember what it's called, like a provisional license. I pretty much got my guard card, but online today, which it's interesting because I think it's like a private investigator card, they call it, which I'm wondering if I could
That's-
just do that. That would be
That'd
cool.
be really cool.
Oh, Detective Bastion.
Detective Bash.
I see a comic book spin-off series in my head already.
Where's Bastion? I can't make this sound.
Well, that's good. You're gonna be a beefy boy, right? Am I getting that right?
Yeah. Yeah, well, according to my goals, I'm supposed to be 150 pounds this year.
I was
Yeah.
wondering,
I'm like 138.
are there no requirements on a guard card? Like, can you have like a 98-year-old lady have
Oh,
that?
yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, they don't care. When I went in, there were some ladies that were like 4'11", like skin and bones. And it was just like, they don't really care. Because you're not expected, because of all the venues and you don't want to have like liabilities.
Yeah.
You're not really ever supposed to be hands-on unless you're like literally defending yourself. You have the same rights as just like a normal person. It's almost like you're not even an employee for whatever venue you're at. So, but it's funny because I was reading up and it was like you can do like citizens arrest and stuff, and I was like, but how dumb is that in like a security outfit to be doing a citizens arrest? You want to get my ass kicked by everyone watching.
Imagine you're at a strip club, right? You've had a few drinks in you, and you go to the back room and you get a private dance. And, you know, things are going good, you're a little hot and bothered. And by mistake, just out of passion, you, like, touch the stripper's, like, backside. And then out of the shadows, Margaret, a 98-year-old woman, goes, "Hey, buddy, that's a little too touchy-touchy."
Well, I need you to take a step back there, mister.
But you know her handbag's full of just heavy rocks. So
She just beats the shit out of
she's
you.
just fucking dead.
But would that be considered a weapon? Because then would you have to be an armed guard?
Armed security.
And it's just the handbag.
That's so funny too, because for armed you have to like go to the range and prove your accuracy. So she's just downrange with the handbag, just throwing.
I'd like to imagine be like ancient Greece slings, where she's
Oh,
just like firing
yeah.
chapstick out of her purse.
She's got like the fucking Aztec thing that would like launch spears, but it's just like a cane.
So,
Dude, she could beat the hell out of someone with that cane too.
absolutely, Granny Cane's hurt. I know. I
yeah.
assault elderly people a lot. You know what I mean? That's a metaphor.
No.
Granny Cane's is my new favorite gimmick chicken place out here. Love going there.
So I have two stories this week. One is at work. I bred two of my customers. I bred them like Pokemons. And then and then another story is I almost finally killed myself and someone else because of maybe a joke, kind of.
Do the
Possibly.
first one first.
First one, I'll
Okay.
ease them into it then.
Yeah. All I remember is the text you sent after me, and I feel like that one's more serious.
A little bit.
It was maybe a joke.
Maybe a joke. All right. So, well, the breeding incident.
We're on a children's
Okay.
playground. The title: Breeding
breeding
on a
incident.
children's playground. Go ahead.
So I told you guys there was one time before where I had gone to I think it was a Porta Subs. I had a lady in front of me buy my sandwich for me,
Yeah.
and then she offered to give me her number, and of course I just like, I think it might even be on the pod. I just kind of like rejected her because I didn't have a phone, and also that's a lot of effort. I don't want to have to talk to people.
Yeah.
However, I saw this happen in real time in front of me, kind of, with two of my customers, because there was a girl who came in by herself, a guy who came in by himself, and I was like trying to ask this girl what she wants on her pizza, and then this guy behind her was having a conversation with Butters, who works at my work, and like him and Butters were having a great convo, and apparently it sparked something of interest with this girl because she stopped talking to me and just started joining in on their conversation, even though I was clearly like, hey, so what else do you want on your pizza? And she was like, and then for like 3 minutes just started talking, but you could tell immediately off the bat they kind of had some chemistry together. So I instead changed my tune, and I just stopped and I waited. We didn't have a lot of other customers, so I became really patient, and every time their like conversation lulled, I would ask them an intersecting question to get them to start talking again.
Yeah.
And out of boredom, I kind of like helped them out a little bit. So then we get to the end. I finished the girl's pizza first. I go to ring her up, and she was like, hey, do you mind, can you actually just like pay for his too? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. Or she didn't ask me to pay for it. She was like, can I pay for his pizza too? I was like, yeah, that's awesome, absolutely. And then, so she pays for it, goes on, and then goes to get her drink and like fill it up. And the kid comes and he starts like pulling out his like money and counting it. And I was like, hey, don't even worry about it. She already got your pizza. And he was like, what? No way. And I was like, yeah. Did you want any drinks or anything? Like, I didn't even give you a water cup. It's free. And he's like, that's all right. I don't think I really need anything. And I like look at the girl who's still at the drinking fountain, and then I like look at him and see that he's like obviously like likes what happened just now. And I was like, are you sure you don't want a water cup to go fill up your drink? And he got it. Yes, I had to push him a little bit, but he got it. And then so they meet at the drink station, and then they go and sit down at a table together, and then before they even leave, I walk into the bag and I'm like, guys, our pizza's so good, we're making people fall in love. And Butters came out, and I thought they were gonna laugh at that response, but everyone immediately followed suit and went, oh, we did. We're making them, they're gonna date forever. And I was like, I got them to breed. They're leaving together, guys. And I'm technically a part of their relationship now.
No. No.
It's me, her, him, and all of us are a couple now by law. That's how I feel.
That's beautiful, man.
That was really cute.
And then this
it wasn't
leads-
a breeding story at all.
Well, no, then this leads in the second one where you pull out your revolver, shoot her, and then kill yourself.
Come in her now.
Put the cum in the box. Put it in. You're a fire type. She's earth. Do it.
Make a lava baby.
I know it'll make you better humans.
Aww.
The rest of the crowd has the same reaction. Like they're crying and just like fornicating, and everyone's like, spring love.
That's really
It was
sweet.
good.
That's, you just match made. You didn't make them breed. You just
No, I
They
helped
might
him
have.
out.
Man.
He was a
Yeah.
little nervous boy. I didn't have anyone to help me when that happened to me. So it was easier for me to like help him get along and nudge him into the direction of fornication in the future. You know what I mean? And I'm happy for him.
I was kind of hoping it ended with like him trying to fill the water cup up with a soda, and you've been like, "Hey, get out!"
Leave.
Just right in front of her, breaking all of his chances and everything.
It's just a trap.
You were trapping him the whole time. You were like, "Go ahead." Behind the counter.
I thought about it a lot because like a lesser person would have been like rude and been like, hey, excuse me, Miss Bitch, could you please talk to me while I'm trying to like make your pizza? Could
Yeah,
you maybe
seriously.
not ignore me like I'm not here?
Yeah.
However, I don't know. There's just something that sparked in me. I was like, I think I'm gonna choose love today instead.
If there was like a large line, I feel like it would have went.
Yeah, it would have been
Yeah,
way
yeah.
different.
You'd have been like, all right,
I'm
let's
like,
not.
hurry up
I
and
don't-
bust and get out of here.
Yeah, I don't care.
Actually, I think it in a perfect way sets up my next story because.
I don't trust the way you're setting that
I'm
up.
excited.
All right, so the way we're gonna put this in context is you had two kinds of Chasen this week.
Yeah.
You had the nice Chasen who's trying to not be hateful, because I've been getting angry for no reason a lot, and
Yeah.
I usually don't ever do that. That's a new age thing I've been doing. So I've been trying to be more based and just like just
Put that up in like a fucking
For
big
context,
font.
he's been saying based like every
Just a
other
big,
sentence for the past
bold-faced
2
font.
weeks.
bass just rolls off the tongue nice. It has so much like power behind it. It just immediately means in words you are correct, and nobody can now say anything about you being correct.
Kind of.
Yeah, it's really just a
good.
cheat code. I was really based this week. No, you weren't. That's not very based of you to say.
That's true.
Can't unbase somebody, you know what I mean? You can freebase, but you can't unbase.
I'm on my third base with this girl. Gross. Ew. Edit that out.
Also, we had the imagery of like sentient. I had the imagery of a sentient walking chicken without the head on this week, and it is just like it like throws its own
Eye, leg, bone.
baster into its like
Oh,
hole,
base.
and it would be literally based for doing so.
That's
I
fine.
was gonna ask if the chicken was based like that, and then you said it, so I'm glad
Oh,
you read
that's
my
so
mind.
sick. You're gonna have to animate that. It's gonna take
Yeah.
forever.
Hey, that'll be one on your 5 animations this year.
Absolutely. Oh no! I need 5 paintings this year. I
5
need one
paintings?
5-minute
5 minutes of animation.
animation.
Yeah.
I made it a little easier for myself, because honestly, making animation that's gonna take like 10 days, no matter how long it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so this is the perfect yin yang. These why these stories belong next to each other. So you had your nice Chasen, and that was the yin this week. I was really nice. I even forgave some problems I had with people who I was putting a lot of energy into not liking them. I'm absolved
I
of that
saw
entirely.
that in the note thing.
Yes.
I was like,
I'm just trying to be nice this week, and usually the reason I'm always I was for a long time very loosey-goosey is because to be angry at anyone, you have to hold actual effort in order to do that. If you want to be a lazy person, you're actually a really good and nice person, because you're just
Oh,
not
yeah.
gonna put any energy into thinking one way or the other about anybody.
That's
yeah.
why I don't hold grudges, because that shit's fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's just taxing. It takes
Yeah.
a lot.
Plus, 90% of the time, especially if it's a friend or something, you're just gonna end up talking to them later, and then it's gonna be awkward. So just be like, oh, I don't give a shit that you killed my sister. or
Yes,
whatever. Yeah,
absolutely.
that happened.
Well, as Mr. Submissive over here too, it's very easy for me to let things go. But yeah, I don't know. I was just hanging on to shit, and yeah, I wanted that to stop. So I had that nice breathing story, and that was the good thing I did this week.
So,
So the other thing
The other thing.
the
Was-
other thing.
was me not being able to hold on to this mindset very well, and it leaking in a very weird way. So our last session, me and you, of course, we got a little loud at each other, and that's one of the reasons I felt really bad. So
Oh,
I've been,
yeah.
yeah. Well, both of us, I think, got mad at each other, and it
I didn't hold on to that. I literally,
No.
after you left, I was like, whatever.
it took me a day, and then I got over it.
Is it bad?
Okay.
Is it bad that I'm so blind to pure hatred? I don't remember you guys having
Oh,
any
no, I
sort
said
of
some
scuffle.
shit, and I was being a bitch.
Yeah.
I was,
Oh, I remembered
Yeah.
calling her a bitch, and that's all.
Absolutely, but also
no, I was 100% a bitch, and I deserved Yeah.
That's true, but I like don't articulate my stuff well when stuff like that happens.
Yeah.
So I'm like not telling you well informed why I'm like angry in the moment. I'm just like, what a cunt, and you'll always be a cunt. You've always been a cunt.
No, I was a cunt.
I think
I know.
I think I do a good job immediately ignoring you two, realizing that I'd either have to side with my girlfriend or my brother.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm just like, you guys can fight. I can't do shit. Whatever.
In
Oh no.
In a way that's
Oh no.
in a way that's cool of you. However, it's also a dick move because there are people are objectively right in situations.
Yeah.
Whether they are or not, you
Yeah.
just like fake Jesus float away from any
yeah, no, I don't give a
any
shit.
kind of like conflict.
And that's what everyone should do.
It's the emotional equivalent of just like immediately turning around and sprinting in the other direction.
But it's great for me. If you guys wanted me to break something up, then just fucking do it yourself.
You know what? I think that's the best way it has to be, though.
No, I'm totally bullshitting and a horrible person. Continue.
All right, so here's what happened. It's the
Yeah.
day after me and Cassidy have this like little like
Saturday.
debacle.
Skerfuffle.
Skerfuckle.
Skerfuckle.
Turducken.
Alright.
All right, so it's the day after this happens,
Yeah.
and then like I don't know. There's just silence, and like that whole day, like nothing's going on my phone. It's been like this for me like a while this week. Where like there's not much, and I just kind of like have to ruminate my own thoughts. But so you combine this little like curmudgeon looking that happens the night before with this like new mindset of like, man, I'm just kind of like angry this week. Maybe it's me. And then I have some bad customers or whatever. The day isn't too bad. However, my brain did something crazy, which is when I get off work, I usually have to go to the bus stop, right? And in order to get to the bus stop, there's this really long, really busy intersection. It's like almost a four-way. There's 4 different lights, and it's one of those ones where there's like people. All right, so the exact crosswalk I'm walking to get to my bus stop, people often at this like light when they're going to turn left will not wait and then like just try to turn at the yellow left arrow and like almost run you over, but then wait instead because they see someone's like walking, and then they'll stop in the middle of the intersection, which is an issue. That happens like at a lot of traffic places, right?
Oh yeah.
But so today, that day, I'm like halfway across the crosswalk. I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm gonna go back home. I'm gonna ruminate for a while. This thing happens, and this person, he starts to go to turn left, and I'm like sitting there at the crosswalk, but I see he's starting to peel out, and I'm like, oh, he might hit me if he keeps going at this speed. So like I kind of almost stop instead of like speeding up, but I like stop and like wave so they see me, and so he sees me and he's like stopped, but now we're in this awkward position where I'm sitting there. He's not fully in the way where like oncoming traffic is gonna plow through him, right? But he's like right before that turning and like width, so like he needs to pull out a little more before he'd have to be panicked. However, he like sits there, and before he even gives me half a second to keep walking, he starts honking and throwing up like these in his car.
Oh.
So my
Oh,
brain does
God.
something that I not only didn't think about, but it was so impulsive. It was almost like someone honking at you and you throwing up like a middle finger without even thinking about it. What my brain did in that half a
shit.
second,
Sit down.
what I did is I see him, and then I think somewhere in me, my like brain noticed that he was looking at me, and I knew what was going on the other side of the street. So what I do is I take a couple steps forward, and I do like this, like you're good. He goes like, he has just enough room to get past me now, starts to like almost pull out. There was a car immediately headed for him. My brain knew that. My brain knew that there was a car barreling towards him. I went, come on, and dude went, thanks, and almost died. And I realized after I did it, if that would have happened and my like little like semi-subconscious prank would have worked, the car would have hit him. the car would have hit his front end. Both of them would have crashed into me, and all three of us would have died.
You know what? That's base.
But like, I realized this happens afterwards, and he stops. And then he just immediately goes, "What the fuck?" And I walk to the end of the street. I look back at him, and my brain is so bitchy this week. I just start laughing, and he can see I'm laughing, and I point at him. He honks. He honks like. He honks like 10 times and then peels out like very fast. But
I love how he just honked out of anger because he couldn't do anything.
all it took was like him being a little bit slower in reaction, and I definitely would have died this week. It was funny.
The thing that sucks though is like, this guy's gonna go home like some fucking dickhead, but like he was being a dick too.
He was being a
You
dick.
tried to murder him.
Well,
But now you fully overrided his
You
thing, and now
caused
it's
manslaughter
fun.
that you couldn't be charged for. That's what would have happened.
I thought you were gonna like hit his car, and I was like, oh,
I thought you
like
were-
you're gonna get shot.
I thought you were gonna be like a sit down or a whoop 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 in front of the car. And
I've
then let
always
him
been
go.
scared at crosswalks because I told myself I'd be one of those people in the videos where someone like parks in the crosswalk and you walk over their hood.
Yeah.
And I was always like, if someone does that, I have to do it because it's funny.
right.
So I was like, did Jason like pull some shit like that and get in like a fight?
There was one I saw where he opened up their back seat door, climbed through the
Oh,
car,
yeah, went
opened
through
the
the whole
other
car.
side, and then closed it and kept walking.
That's wild though.
I don't know.
I mean, their car was unlocked. That's even more wild.
I don't know. I like so immediately recognized too like what was going on, because whenever like I'm feeling just like extremely in one emotion, a lot of the times my impulse control goes out the window. So if I'm funny, there's nothing stopping me for what the funny joke that no matter what it is, I'm gonna say it. It's
Just
gonna come out of my
commitment,
mouth.
yeah.
So if I'm also being petty, like, and in that moment, someone has given me like the clearing to be petty back to them, and there's an opportunity for me to kill them in the process.
Yeah.
My brain's just gonna do it. I don't have a say in that.
Did you get it all out of your system, or is it still
I
a little bit remnant?
I don't feel bad at all.
I also, in a weird way, think you shouldn't feel bad at all.
Yeah.
I know you almost killed them, but
I also
they were
killed.
being a dick. You would
Yes.
kill yourself
I,
too.
yeah, I also killed me, so it's okay. Like, absolutely.
That's a
That's
noble
murder
sacrifice. Murder, suicide, noble sacrifice. Combine those words equals out to noble sacrifice.
Maybe now that I hear it out
The
loud.
funniest part is that if
It's
everyone survived,
nothing bad happened.
you'd all be in like hospital beds next to each other, and the one guy who did it, like who wasn't a part of it, who just crashed into him, would have quite a story to hear
Oh my
about.
god.
Whether we woke up in the hospital or we all died and heaven's real, either way, we would have been in like the Spider-Man meme where all three of us are pointing to each other.
Yeah.
It's your fault. It's your fault.
If you all ended up in heaven after
I
that,
don't.
something's broken.
Yeah.
So it looks like we have another noble sacrifice here. Come on in. It just happens all the time.
You honked. You don't deserve hell for that. You had no idea what was going. You were just driving, and this
Yeah.
dude swerved into you. And that was so based.
That was so based. Come on in. How can we charge you with anything?
Welcome to heaven. You're all lucky you all believe in Allah.
Looks like all three of you did manslaughter, but this one guy was praying for his life in the car, so you're all off the hook. That's how my heaven works. Oh man.
And then so I don't think we mentioned this like last podcast, but so May 22nd, it's not only my birthday, but there's a deadline because we're
I thought
coming
it was
up.
May 20th.
It's May 22nd. I remember exactly because I set it to be my birthday, so I would remember it.
Oh, okay. I put a fucking reminder a week ahead of time to do the contract so I can
Nice.
get it done and then print it out.
I've been looking at templates and stuff, and I know it doesn't have to be legally binding, and that's not what we're going for, but it'd be funny if it
would
was.
be.
It'd
I
be
kinda
wild.
wanna
I was
agree
looking
with
at Fiverr.
Yeah.
Sorry, we have to stop doing
Oh,
this.
yeah,
We
yeah.
have to bring
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Context.
context. So May 22nd, what is happening is I said it we were saying like we're gonna have 10 episodes at minimum, and then we need to decide after that, like if we want to establish a context, how many we're all required to do within
when we
a year.
can quit.
Yeah.
It's a goal setting for each other, but also like maybe we could add monetary gain in there, like
Yeah.
making me responsible for the
No,
majority of the
no,
funds if we ever do pop off.
No.
And Cassidy was rejecting some of these ideas.
I was
However,
rejecting that now that we did 10, I would have to do 100 and then 1,000. And I was like, that's not no.
Oh yeah,
No,
minimum
no.
contract
Okay,
adds a 0 at the
Yeah.
end of every
Yeah.
every re-signing.
Yeah, no. I was like, I would like to do it view based. For me personally. But
So if we want to establish context, the way we're going to do this is all three of us by May 22nd, we're going to write them and then go over the rules on the podcast. I'm assuming
printed out or it doesn't count.
I'm assuming they're going to be a little bit silly to make it
Yeah,
entertaining.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
There's gonna be some
I'm gonna
shit.
tell you though, I'm gonna try to make mine legally binding, and I'm also gonna try to put a couple like clauses in there that specifically do something, and if you guys sign it, we'll have to do it because it's legally binding. So I'm just setting that. It's not gonna be like anything insane, but just like the idea of like later down the road we start getting revenue, and I'm like, yeah, you didn't see that all your revenue goes to me.
We're like,
I think we should have that though, but it goes to the Chasen Fund.
Or like I put in the contract, Chasen, all of your revenue has to go to like rehab centers for like alcoholics.
Then he'll bust out the
So
article
just-
against you, okay?
like we're making like $3 million like 4 years from now just off of revenue, but like oddly enough this is the first time Cassidy ever chooses to drink Coca-Cola on a Wednesday, so it negates her contract.
Yeah, fully.
You stole fizzy lifting drink, you get nothing.
Or also my contract is just an NDA that we can't talk about the contracts, and so you guys sign it and then we just have a normal episode and never bring it up.
No, we would have to talk about it in the episode before we sign it.
Also,
We're
I'm
going through
gonna
it.
talk to Tyler because he was a notary at some
Oh
point.
my god, wait!
Yes, he has that power, and also
Wait, maybe he comes as a guest on that one.
Oh, that would be
Yeah.
interesting.
So
Have him
good.
review it.
that's not bad at
Oh,
all.
he's gonna shit on us.
Oh,
He would actually hang really well too in our podcast
Yeah.
environment.
Oh, yeah.
Tyler
Yeah.
would do amazing.
Plus, dude, he's legitimately
watches
like a
them.
fan. Like he
Hi,
loves. Hi,
Shout out
Tyler.
to you.
Also, though, there's this other aspect which I don't even think you guys realized yet. So I've also put this kind of disclosure in how these contracts are decided, which, strangely enough, they're going to be very important in play after our contracts are made. Because if we don't come to the conclusion of whose like contract is best, or even if we do, I had said that it is decided by our community poll, right? That's where people will vote on which contract gets decided and which one becomes officialized.
So your dad's choosing?
Well, that's what I mean. You even have, I think, more of your friends on the podcast than I do. We have some of our family. It's a strange.
I have a
not
couple of
advertised
friends,
to anyone.
some family, yeah.
At all.
Your roommates commented a lot on our podcast.
That
She's
was
like
your
3
sister.
comments. You didn't know that? She's in the community poll a lot. So you're just learning this. That's cool. Okay,
But I
but
thought you were
here,
talking about her sister.
no, her roommate.
Oh,
I'm not trying to dox her, but I know your roommate.
Okay.
yeah, that's
Okay.
fair.
But so that other aspect is if you really want your like contract to win too, marketing all of a sudden is actually really important. I'm gonna be on Reddit a lot.
Stop! No!
I'm gonna be on 4chan. I'm gonna be on
How
farmersonly.com.
about, wait, hold on. Tyler will be there. He could be the final judge on it.
I don't think Tyler's
No.
gonna be there for the contract episode, right? Or
I thought he's a notary, so he'd be there when we sign
well,
it.
he's there to
be-
notarize the contract, right? He
He
could.
has to be there when we sign it.
I don't know if he
notarize
should
it.
be there on presentation day, or
Okay.
if he should be there on like validation day, which is
The
like,
next week?
well, because I think I said 3 months after we pick a contract, then after the vote's decided, then
Yeah.
we can get it notarized. So after a
Okay.
winner is declared, then
Okay,
Tyler can.
that's fine.
We could, if we wanted to, like, have them to check to see if it's like if it passes, like if the wording and shit is all correct.
Oh
but,
yeah.
He's gonna be our
because I'm
contract lawyer.
sure he knows somewhat about that shit, being a notary. But I don't know.
I wish I had more time
Do
to
we-
do this because now I just want to do it.
Yeah.
I was also thinking, do we have like a limit to like how long or anything?
No,
'Cause I'm
but
imagining-
please don't make it 35 pages.
Well, no, but I'm just imagining like yeah, okay.
Stop! No.
I'm gonna go with a
No.
booklet, a big ass.
Well, it's
We
good.
have to read them out.
No. So that's the thing. You can have your contract be 185 pages because you have to give quick summarizations. However, that's up to you if you're reading all of it or not before signing.
I'm reading them out loud so they understand what I'm signing.
I'm gonna put a glossary in mine.
Stop.
At the beginning, it's gonna tell you
Jason,
where all the.
The weirdo with the hat.
That'll be funny.
Oh. Question. Can I make 3 separate contracts for the 3 of us? Like, they're not the same contract? So, like, my contract for me would be one thing, but your contract that I make for you is slightly different than mine?
I mean, the contracts are relative to the channel, right? So,
Yeah, because I want to make my, like, yours would be, like, monetary based, mine would be, like, viewer based, and you would be, like, sub based or some shit like that, you know what I mean? Or...
that makes sense. I think you could do it, but it would still be the same contract because it's like a contract around the YouTube channel, right? So
yeah,
you
it's
just
around the YouTube channel, but it's just different stipulations for
yes.
people.
So I agree, yes, but they wouldn't be different contracts. It would just be you'd have different like clauses for each member, which is
Okay,
definitely
yeah,
just
okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, doing a different one for each person would be wild. Because also, if you put it in one, then you could also have stuff that applies to all of us as well, which would be nice. I don't like Cassidy's contract because it's just gonna be if we get more than like 4,000 views, the channel's terminated.
No, it means Cassidy gets to leave. You guys can continue. I'll be
sign
behind
that.
the camera.
Could we sign multiple? What if we all have such good contracts
That we
and then we
sign
have to vote that they like all bind in?
We could make a massive combined one afterwards.
So you know what's weird to me?
Why are you doing this? This is scaring me.
So all right, so this week, one of our shorts hit, I think, roughly over like 2,000 viewers, and
Yeah.
it gave Cassidy like fear and panic in her heart. I have to say though that this confuses me. The reason being is because you're in theater tech. You've also like.
Yeah, but I'm not on the stage.
No, but you are responsible for productions that probably, like, in your lifetime have seen way over 2,000
Yeah.
people. So you know what it looks like, which is maybe why it scares
Yes.
you so much.
If you say a number in front of me, I imagine all of those physically right here. So
Mhm.
like 200 people,
You know,
You
as
know,
well, now that you
that's
brought
too many.
that up,
I scared.
that brings up a point to me. Why, at a certain point, why would you leave the channel? You could just switch to production.
That's what I said. I said
Just
I'd be behind
do
the
cameras
camera.
and shit.
That's what I said.
But you wouldn't be leaving then.
Okay,
You would just
well, I
switch.
wouldn't be like what a host. I would do what like Slimesicle did to like the chuckle head sandwich. That
Chucklehead sandwich.
It's a second. You didn't see it was the second channel that they opened.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
gotcha.
It's been a while. But like, he's
So then here's another question. If we can like workshop past this, Because, like, at a certain...
I'm sure I'll keep doing it, but I'll be anxious.
I think you would, yeah. But, like, also, you do have options. It's important to remember this. Like, you can also have your name changed to, like, sort of a moniker, which is a lot of YouTube personalities do that.
Yeah.
Slimesicle, Slime,
Yeah.
people didn't know, like, Nick from The Yard's full last name for the longest time, too, so just keeping it to one conceals their identity. You'd be concerned about people recognizing you on the street, so you could do, like, Seer does, or Dream, like, cover up your face the whole time, which I think would make the podcast better.
It would be.
I'm just kidding, that was mean. I wasn't murder someone mean, but I still got it.
My thumbnail has the best performance.
I honestly think it was space.
I also think it was that, but...
You like that edit, by the way?
That was
Didn't
really
see it.
fun.
We made it a short and you didn't watch.
You told me that the numbers were going up, so I panicked and threw it away.
Now I'm not thinking it's just gonna be Cassidy's that has her off the channel.
Yeah, I'm not so worried about her leaving anymore.
I watched...
Jesus fuck.
I put so much work into this.
Dude, I'm like halfway through the episode right now.
We need to not only start bringing guests on after like the 10th episode, but we need to have tryouts.
I know Scott would replace me immediately, okay?
He would.
I insist we only do through Craigslist.
Oh, question. I didn't want to lose it. This is unrelated to the contracts, but at any point, do you think our content would extend from just podcasts?
Yeah.
Because I had at the beginning, the establishment of this was thinking about like a vlog style format where we're just walking around in public, because I think like we have a really good vibe of just being like wherever, like being rodents, right?
Yeah.
But the idea of walking around on the strip and like just doing shit would be like the ultimate like alley fucking cat.
So here's the thing. We've talked about this before of doing a walking podcast on the strip. Also, I've had the idea before for having a live one on the bus.
On the bus, yes.
Now, I've sat on these ideas for a while, and I have conflict that's come up in my head, which is, I think most people, I mean, and yes, you can blur faces, but I think most content which has strangers involved in it, those are bad people.
Yeah.
I think most people don't.
I also think that.
Yes, most people don't want to be involved in some stupid YouTube video.
That's
so
true, yeah.
while the appeal is really nice, I know I would actually.
If it was an empty bus.
Yeah, if it was a straight up. Yeah, but.
Well, in my mind, we wouldn't like. I don't know, cause I'm for that too, like involving people, like prank format and shit. I think is like.
Even
stupid.
Interview format,
But
that people just don't want to be talked to by strangers.
My idea is like we would just be like, we would be going to places and like doing shit, but no one would like be there. Like maybe passing faces, but I don't know if that's similar. Like when you watch people like live stream, you have the just chatting. There's so many people who just walk around.
Yeah.
And I feel like the extent of it is we might get one rude person who's like, oh, like don't put my face in that, which like we won't put your, like we'll blur it or whatever.
Yeah.
Or like worst come to worst, we just stop the video and like resolve. But I don't know. I guess it depends. I know.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot to think about. I do definitely. I don't know. I like the idea of us switching up and having other content. Always doing the podcast is great, but also we started making music, and then also we want to start doing like games and things like that.
I think we could do also a cooking one.
Yeah, I do want to get on music, especially because I would love to expand it and have like our own songs and like playlists and stuff. I could see it.
The idea of each of the three of us having our own playlist on the channel and it like being named after us, and then that is our content that we're in charge of, and like separating it like that would be really nice.
I think that's nice. I think we all kind of like the idea of a project in an extent. So.
Yeah.
It'd be cool too, because you'd get to hold yourself to your own schedule. Like pod is like at least once a month, which is fine.
Yeah.
But like I already know how it would play out, because if each of us had our like own mini channels on our channel, you'd get like a Cassidy video like once or twice a year, and then you'd
Yep.
get a Sebastian one maybe like once every 3 months,
Yep.
and then mine would be like every other second day.
Be a Jason channel.
You took a big skip from just being able to say every other day to every other second day. What the fuck does that mean? Is that every third day?
You'll find out on my next video.
You haven't put a first one out, so we have no precedent.
By the way, this is what my contract is going to be like. I'm going to have reasonable rules, but make it extremely complicated.
It's just not.
And full of grammatical errors.
Absolutely.
Everything's super simple, but it's just not legible in the slightest.
You have to have it printed. It can't be handwritten.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh
Okay.
yeah. Also, I'm gonna make multiple copies because at some point one of you is gonna go and rip one, and so I'm gonna
not
pull
gonna
out another
rip
one
it.
from a suit
Well, I was
pocket.
gonna I was gonna print out 3 different ones so we could all each have it in our hands and read it.
Oh yeah.
You know.
But I also had this idea of like doing other stuff because I was thinking if we have like guests on, not everyone is like acclimated to the idea of just sitting there, and like even our like first 2 episodes we like couldn't really figure out how to perfectly the balance between like looking right at the audience and looking at each other and like acting completely natural.
Right.
So having like something to do would be like kind of interesting, like little like challenges or whatever. But
So like, for example, Scott's gonna be our first guest on episode 10. What would we do then?
stand-up comedy night.
Ooh.
We get a mic and we all do sets. We try to make each other laugh or
I'm
something.
not a part of that one though.
Listen, I don't know. I've seen so many people do that whole like trying not to laugh thing where it's like water in your mouth, and I've realized you don't have to be funny. If you know each other enough, you're gonna make someone laugh. And I
Yeah.
think people like seeing people laugh. Like they don't necessarily need to be laughing with, but I think the enjoyment of just seeing people have fun. is
There's a
also-
difference between testing to see if you're so funny that you would work in a open mic night like stand-up situation, and then making your friends laugh. That's why this podcast
Yeah.
isn't doing so well, because
I'll-
we're definitely one of the 2 types.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I'm not like a tell jokes type of jokester. I'm a ad-lib type
Yeah.
person. So I
You guys
don't
are my
perform well in that
my power
format.
dampening cups. I'll never make it big.
I'm absolutely capable, I think, of doing stand-up. So it's weird. Lately, I've had this like vision in my head. I can tell when things are gonna work and when they're not.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This is not like, this has transcended like multiple skill sets, because we have so many projects going right now. We're writing raps, and I can tell in like real time if like a lyric sounds cheesy or if it's actually like weirdly enough like just cool.
Yeah, like okay.
If I'm talking about my
I
AK,
get what
I
you're
start
saying, yeah.
laughing, or like
Yeah.
my whip, or like money, or anything.
No, I get it
like
too,
that.
because sometimes I'll write something, it'll be like a pun, and I'll be like, that's kind of stupid. But then I'll do something, and it'll be like a pun, but it'll be like clever and dumb, and then I'm like, that's the banger right there.
And in the same way, when I'm writing jokes, if the joke even is funny to me and I think it would make all my friends laugh, I can like, God gives me crickets in my head when and it's not gonna work.
So when say Giddy on It was a thing, and you say you have had this power your whole life, and you decided to continue that joke when it was crickets from everyone.
Look, I'm trying to do well now. Tripling down on a joke that's not funny is a joke in on itself.
I do agree with that, but
Also, it's become like a thing. Like, you can say something enough and it not be funny, but it just become a slogan now.
Right. Also, imagine this, like, because these are the differences between those, like, 2 things, is imagine someone on a stand-up set and they're bombing. That's one thing, right? But if they're bombing their stand-up set and they're not at a, like, comedy club, and instead they're just at an order-taking machine for, like, McDonald's, then it's funny again. It's like, what's the deal with airline food? Sir,
Holy fuck.
can you please move? It's like, get a load of this guy.
I just saw a video of a guy going, all right, so what are you guys thinking about the weather, right? All right, tough crowd. And then you see a car pull up and you see the box at like a McDonald's and he's just standing in front of it and he's like, this guy, huh? In the car. And I was like, that's fucking amazing. That's incredible. So I 100% feel what you just said. But yeah, I don't know. It doesn't have to be that, but I'm just thinking it'd be like fun, or like if we had our non-dead brother on and we did like a cooking video.
Or even if we brought our brother that is dead and had him try to cook.
We did like a disco video. I donate to the Epilepsy Foundation, I can say that.
Austin, if you're watching. Alright, cool.
Yeah. Darude Sandstorm starts playing and just that's funny.
Local YouTube channel with 19 subscribers gets taken to court for killing 17 7-year-olds.
7-year-olds?
Specifically.
You think 7-year-olds are watching us? They do not have the attention span for that one.
I have a certain pull.
Stop!
I'm just kidding. I'm great with kids.
Stop it.
What the fuck?
I'm legitimately good with kids. There's no double entendres. There's no hidden meanings. There's no hidden meanings.
Fuck.
There's no hidden meanings on 1504 Maple Avenue Street.
It's always Maple Street.
Tom, Gary, and Vince don't need to leave now.
Delete the files, hit the kill switch, please.
You're involved in this too?
Well, the cops tried to show up at this young man, I think we'll call him Chasen's house, but they caught him at a crosswalk and a fatal incident happened where he told them to go and another car was barreling towards him 90 miles per hour.
Oh my god.
Just having that as like a power. Anytime someone tries to fuck with you, you end up just being at a crosswalk and they're in the other car.
I feel so ashamed sometimes that I'm not like actually part of any like big criminal conspiracy groups. Like, doesn't matter the crime, but like, you know, groups that talk about how they're gonna rob a place, or groups that talk about how they're gonna like start trafficking, or you know, just groups who are doing illegal things. They usually hide on the internet. I want any one of those just to name it after a stranger for when we inevitably get caught and drag them into the like situation.
What?
I get that.
Yeah.
I 100% understand.
I lost you somewhere.
So
people
if I'm in
He's
charge,
playing the long con.
if I'm in charge of a human trafficking business and we meet on Facebook and we had a group together, but I just like look up a random name in the phone book and name it after that guy, not only do all of us go to jail, but that guy definitely gets interviewed.
Oh,
Yeah.
I get it. Okay.
Jeffrey Maples.
It's always
It's Jeffrey Maples.
it's a artistically just taking down a stranger with me like I would in a crosswalk. Like that's I'm all about that this week.
You know what?
I just want to bring down a stranger. If I had one goal for this week, that would be it.
You also get to frame a bunch of children for prostitution. That's how that works. That's how these syndicates operate, right? You know, they were the ones doing it.
So you didn't watch our last episode.
I
but
watched half of it. I didn't get to the space part. I
You're
just
our
haven't
own
really-
biggest hater.
That's so real.
So bullshit.
That's so real.
You have some like Reddit where you like talk shit about our
Guys,
channel.
I know they only have 19 subscribers, but like, they sucked.
Did we gain so many subscribers and they unsubscribed? Did you notice that?
Oh yeah.
Because we were sitting at like maybe 17 or 18. We gained like 5 subscribers, but we only moved up like 2.
Oh my
So
god.
it was like,
I really like these shorts. They're pretty good. I think I'm gonna check out the new video. And you know what? I'm gonna subscribe too. 3 minutes in, I'm gonna unsubscribe.
dude, the retention is
Yeah.
3 minutes. That's why I was wondering other content too, because I was also just like, I realize it's really hard for people to get into a podcast now unless they know the people.
Yeah.
Like I can't name a podcast that started as a podcast.
I can. My brother, and me. But that's by the McElroys, and they're big in the podcast stuff now.
The Yard also. Oh.
Yeah, but
No, that's
Ludwig is like.
It started with Ludwig.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like I can't name a podcast that doesn't have a single person that was like in some other industry.
That makes
or-
sense. They usually break out after success, not in the early days. In the early days, if you had a podcast,
Yeah,
you
no,
had a podcast.
They
Yeah,
have,
yeah.
They started.
Calling It Samir, always been a podcast. Very
Yeah.
popular one.
But yeah, I think right now it's just so competitive because they're like, why would I watch these 3 young ass people on a playground when I could go watch like Bobby Lee or like
True.
like a comedian or someone?
I would actually
I
like
think we're better.
predict, because if we ever do gain a following, I doubt we ever reach we're definitely like within the 17 to like 21-year-old demographic.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't
yeah.
think we're hitting 25, 26-year-olds
No.
like that.
Dude, it's weird because right now they're definitely wrong, but our demographics are like 35 or something, like
Oh, yeah.
25 to 30 or something, some weird thing. And I'm like, no way, that's right. But
I don't know.
I think we'd have way more fun though. Well, you wouldn't, but
No, I
think
do
we would
like
have more
making
fun
content.
with more people.
I just don't like seeing the aftermath when it like gets the views.
The thing
would do
I
this
was
for
thinking
myself
about
personally.
that would
Yeah.
be real fun is if we ever got to merch.
Oh my
'cause
god, I would love designing.
I
shit.
love like
I would let
fashion. You
go,
guys can
yeah.
like draw, and then we'll have like cool phrases we all created minds.
Absolutely.
My little notebook would just be like 8 pages full of that stuff because that's what I did. Oh my god, when I was making my cool pants, you haven't seen the cool pants.
Show them the cool pants.
It's the, you know.
Yeah, show them the
Yeah.
cool pants. Whoa.
Bell
I was
bottoms.
Go
I
ahead.
was on like the highest of artistic and like, I don't know, highs that I've ever had in my life just creating that. I think I was texting you throughout of it, but I don't know. I feel like making merch, I don't know if I would. We're not getting there.
Yes.
But
So
I would enjoy it.
I like this story, and I also have a story about your pants. A couple ones. Now that they've seen them, can you go ahead and remind them? Just give me a couple of slogans that are on there for me.
Haunted,
Mm-hmm.
death by 1,000 cuts, drunk on pain,
Someone that says slut, something like that.
whore.
Whore says. Just say whore.
It just says whore. There's pussy gunk.
Yes.
There's like 2 moths. There's some blue fire that says light me up. There is some like purple lightning. There's like monster on it and live in delusion and like I don't know. It's really
Yeah. So it's very cool. Sebastian has the same kind of like fashion sense.
Yeah,
You know, we like to push boundaries and stuff when
I
we're
rip
making
these
things.
stuff off.
Yeah, well, we like to push boundaries when we're making things like artistically, and it was funny because it's always been so natural on Sebastian. But when this was like Cassidy's first breakout project, so
This was
she
fun.
would wear these pants out, and I remember a day in particular, she was getting
Oh.
her
This was Pottery Day.
registration renewed, and she got out of the car and talked to the sweetest like old lady who I could tell was being very nice and polite, but as soon as Cassidy would like turn away from her, the lady would just give her a look up and down and like read them, and I could see that it was obviously like taking everything in her soul not to get offended. And like normally I'd be like, you know what, fuck old people anyway. Sorry if my like art offends you. But also this lady was just trying to do her 9 to 5 and then like looking at this sweet nice girl and it just says like whore, pussy gunk, like and just the most awful shit on a pair of pants. And it was so funny for me to just like read that social situation.
I didn't see it at all. I was just like,
nor should you care, but
I
still.
didn't care either. I was having a great day. But
See, I
I
try to.
saw her like the 2 days before because I got
Oh,
my
yeah.
smog checked, but then I needed to update my insurance before I could get the registration from her.
Right.
And so I was like, then I was like normal Cassidy, like nice and sweet. I came back and that was what I was wearing. So I think she was also processing
She wasn't
that.
mad. She was disappointed.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It's just anytime there's a situation like that, it's just so much that it's the energy of like going to H&R Block and then having someone help you out with your taxes and being completely professional, but just also at the same time like my dick is out and they're not addressing it.
It's not that bad. It's not like I was being a prostitute on the street in front of her. Okay.
Yeah, you sit down with your financial advisor and they're like, all right, so what do you think we should do with your stocks right now? And they're playing like WAP on the speaker. And you're like, what is going on? But I try to put it together enough that if they're scared of me, it's like immediate, and they just stay away from me.
Right. I do a similar thing. There was another thing I wrote down, but I try to memorize my things, even though I take notes. I realized something. Do you guys have any personality aspects of yourselves that are traps for other people? I realized some that I have for myself recently.
Explain what you mean by traps for other people.
All right, so I'm gonna use this because I mean you may not know this so well, but like I consider it like a personality trait you have that is played oftentimes like a trap card in Yu-Gi-Oh, where it doesn't get shown very well unless someone activates it. So the one I'm thinking of for me is I realized recently, because a lot of my family who's comfortable with me, they'll like rag on me sometimes and they'll give me like flack for being like dumb or just saying things like not thinking about them a lot. But my family knows me well, so that's like why they're able to do that. Because like I'm very good at a lot of things and I'm pretty smart at certain topics. A lot of the time I am really stupid in a lot of different things. However, when I meet new people, I play up my bimbo factor 150%. Like, especially like when it's strangers, I'll just say things, I'll let them be in control of the situation. And I didn't realize until recently, I do this very on purpose, because if I'm like kind of stupid in front of somebody that I don't know, and then that person tries to get in an argument or like manipulate me in some way using that, immediately I obliterate them into a million pieces, and it was kind of just like a trap waiting for them.
Yeah.
It's like playing the long
Okay.
Kong, so they'll fall into your like bear trap you have set out.
That's fair.
You think you have anything like that?
You're putting me on the spot.
I'm trying to.
That's fair.
think.
It's a pretty
If
weird
I
idea.
think about it, I'll hit you up with a text being like, yes, it's this. All I'm really thinking about is how all my entire personality is just other people's personalities
Yeah.
put into one.
Maybe I could rephrase this in an easier way. Do either of you have talents that you've never told anybody else about, really? Like, maybe that we know, but you've never, like, revealed to other people? 'Cause I have a lot of those, too.
Yeah.
I'm
Like-
fucking just so good at breaking women's hearts. I don't know. There's some stuff.
With a dog.
Break?
Coming over here.
Do we take break and then pop
do
up a
you
new location?
Oh, that's
Chat,
not
what do we
cool.
do?
I'm gonna take a look
Yeah, let's
at
go.
the time.
Let's go over somewhere
At
else.
first.
Move the shoot.
Wait, where's the time?
Also, I want that. Is there more? Oh, I can't see. Oh, okay.
We're changing locations.
You're
Hello.
filming in between.
Yeah.
Filming the vlog.
Not the whole walk. I was just gonna do a little bit.
I like you. Goodbye.
Thanks for watching.
Wait, do you think Shmurgus can be the new, he can be our new mascot?
He can definitely be a part of
Everyone
it.
buy a Shmurg.
No, you can't buy him. You have to steal him. It's a rite of passage.
Everyone
That's
steal a
fair.
Anyways,
We're gonna wrap up this episode. We had someone walking their dog, and I'm trying to hold on to the last of the money that's in my pocket, so we scurried.
yeah.
Shmurg. Yeah. It was
Alrighty.
pretty messed up. We were the ones that were in public and wanted to be in public. Bye.
Bye.
Love you.